It started like any other morning in New York City, the quiet before sunrise when the city's noise still sleeps. At 5:26 a.m. on December 22nd, 2024, the F train rolled into Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue Station. Only a handful of people boarded, mostly workers finishing night shifts, a few dozing commuters, and one woman who carried everything she owned in two small bags. Her name was Debrina Kawam, 57 years old. Born in New Jersey, once a caretaker, now unhoused and sleeping within New York's shelter system. She'd been living quietly, moving from train to train at night to stay warm. The people who knew her said she was kind, always humming to herself, always polite when she asked for change. She never hurt anyone. But that morning, the city noticed her for the first time and the last. The car she entered was mostly empty. A security camera caught her sitting near the backresting, half asleep. At 5:27, another passenger stepped on board. A man in a dark jacket, hood up, holding a lighter. He paced once through the car, glancing at the woman, then at the doors as they shut. For the next 20 seconds, the footage is silent until he sits across from her. He leans forward, and without warning, he strikes a match. The fire flares fast, bright, furious, consuming everything in seconds. The woman screams. Passengers run. The train fills with smoke. And somewhere between those seconds, Debrina Kawam burns. The surveillance footage, later reviewed by investigators, showed something almost unbearable. The suspect watching the flames motionless, calm as if hypnotized by what he'd done. The doors open. He walks out. No one stops him. When the police arrive, they find her body still in the seat where she sat. The fire has died, but the smell remains smoke, rubber, human skin. The officers stand in shock. One later admits he'd passed that very car minutes before, unaware of what was about to happen. The suspect was identified hours later. Sebastian Zapata, 33 years old, originally from Guatemala, known to move through the same transit lines. He was found a few blocks away, clothes scorched, lighter in his pocket. He didn't run. He didn't resist. When officers asked why, he said nothing. The city woke to headlines that sounded unreal. Woman set on fire on Brooklyn train. Suspect arrested after commuter horror. But for the riders who saw it, it wasn't just news, it was trauma replayed behind their eyelids. By mid-morning, the Stillwell station was shut down. Fire crews scrubbed the floor, replaced seats, washed the walls. By evening, trains ran again clean, ordinary, as if nothing had happened. But those who rode that day said they could still smell smoke. The story didn't end there. When investigators searched the car's footage frame by frame, they noticed something chilling. Right after the suspect leaves, a shape flickers in the camera, reflection of distortion, a flare that shouldn't exist once the fire's out. Technicians said it was a light artifact, but some of the workers who cleaned the car claimed the lights flickered again when they walked past that same seat. In the days that followed, commuters left flowers on the platform. Others refused to sit in that car again. Rumors started whispers that at around 5:27 a.m., the same minute the fire began, the train's lights dimmed for a split second every day. Some say if you look out the window during that moment, you can see her faint silhouette in the reflection, hair burning bright orange, eyes still open. The MTA called it superstition. But even staff avoided car 9273 after dark. Then came the reports. A maintenance worker claimed that one night, while testing the surveillance feed, he heard static. He turned the volume up. Through the crackling came a voice soft, gasping, saying, "Please help me." He checked the timestamp. 5:27 a.m., the exact minute she died. The suspect, Zapata, remains in custody. He is yet to speak. Psychiatric evaluators say he doesn't understand why he did it or pretends not to. Some reports mention a strange fascination with fire. Others suggest he thought she wasn't real, that she was a ghost already. The case sits in the Brooklyn criminal court, heavy with silence. There's no motive, no connection, only madness. But the horror runs deeper than the crime itself, because New York City never stops. The day after her death, hundreds rode the F train again, sitting in new seats, holding coffee cups, scrolling through headlines about the tragedy on the same line where she died. The world moved on. The algorithm did, too. The video of the burning car spread across TikTok, gaining millions of views before being banned. Some clips even added captions. Real footage of the Brooklyn ghost train. Users claimed that if you slowed the video, you could see a face appear in the smoke, not the killer's, but hers, staring back through the screen. One commuter, a college student from Queens, posted that he was on the F train a week later. He said he sat alone near the end of the car when his phone screen turned black. For a moment he saw his reflection, but someone else behind him. When he turned, there was no one there. The doors opened. A gust of hot air blew in like the heat of a fire. He got off and never rode the train again. People say the city forgets fast, but certain stations remember. The metal, the mirrors, the rails, they hold memory. And some mornings at Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue, you can still hear faint humming before the first train arrives, a woman's voice, quiet, melodic, the way people said Debrina used to hum to herself. It fades the moment the train pulls in. Her story is now part of New York's mythology, a real-world ghost story written in surveillance footage and smoke. People argue about it online, whether the haunting is real, whether tragedy leaves echoes. But one thing is certain. No matter how many times they repaint the car or rewire the lights, something in that train refuses to forget. The fire that began at 5:27 a.m. still flickers every morning in memory. It's not bright, not loud, just a glow that hums beneath the city's routine, waiting for the next person to notice. And if you ever find yourself on the F train before sunrise, and the lights dim for a second near Coney Island, look away from the window, because some reflections in New York don't belong to the living.